there, thanks for tuning in. This is the Tammy Tine Design YouTube channel. I'm Tammy, and today I'm creating the first layout in my September Batch Scrapbooking Series. A couple of things I wanted to mention. I created a cutting guide if you'd like to download the sketches and follow along. There are 2 pattern papers on each page of this cutting guide, and all of the papers are numbered 1 through 6. The cutting guide has been updated to follow the layouts as I'm going to create them. If you watched the last video where I put together all of my backgrounds, you'll know that I made a few minor edits, so these may look different from the last video. The cutting guide and all of the sketches are now available for download in my shop. I included a link in the description box below. It's 100% free, and you just have to add it to your cart and sign up with your email address so we know where to send the zip file that contains everything. Quick side note, if you are a Google Chrome user and get a message saying the files from my shop are dangerous and won't be downloaded, just know this is happening due to a security update on Chrome. This is happening to everyone that has a Squarespace store, not just me. The files you download from my shop are secure and they are 100% safe. There's nothing I can do about this. I'm waiting to see if Squarespace works with Google to get it fixed. In the meantime, you can download the files on Microsoft Edge or Safari with no issues. I am looking into workarounds. For this series, I created the sketches ahead of time. I usually create them after I film the process video so that the sketch looks like the finished layout. I'm going to follow these sketches as closely as possible. There are 4 layouts in this series, and each one will follow a different format. This is sketch number 1. This is my simplified format, so the focus of this layout is on the photo and the journaling. There's minimal embellishment and only 1 block of pattern paper and a pattern paper photo mat. I set the sketches up to say which paper each block or strip was cut from. So this says pattern paper number 1. When you go to your cutting guide, you'll see pattern paper number 1 has this 3 by 10 inch block, so you'll need that piece to complete layout number 1. Next, you'll see pattern paper number 2. I actually ended up using the mat on pattern paper number 6. Several papers have photo mats, so you can mix and match them however you need to. Grab a 4 by 6 photo mat to complete layout number 1. That's the same format for each sketch. The sketch will tell you which paper each piece comes from, whether it's paper 3 or 4 or so on. That is the beauty of batch scrapbooking. Cut all of the papers at once, assemble them according to the sketch, and create the layouts. I didn't add a ton of embellishment on the sketches. I may add more embellishments as I create my layouts, but they will be in the same spots that I've designated. Each layout will probably have the same mix: word stickers, flowers, die cuts, leaves, and only 1 layout has some mixed media elements. I will have cut files for each layout as well, but I didn't add the cut files into the sketch. I didn't plan that far out, but you'll see me use a cut file with each layout. I also decided to add a bonus to this download. One of the things we talk about with sketches is that a single sketch is never just a single sketch. If you just rotate the sketch 90 degrees, you'll have a whole new sketch. So just rotate this, and now you have a new orientation for the photo and a new place to put the papers. For me personally, I find it hard to look at this with the title going down and the strips are going up and down. It just doesn't always work. You have to change other things about the layout, and it's not always to see that when you just rotate the paper in front of you. For this series, I'm including sketch options, and you'll have to tell me in the comments below if you find this helpful. I think it's a great upgrade for my sketches, and if it's useful, I may offer these more. This sheet has the original sketch plus 3 more sketches. It's the original layout rotated at 90 degrees all the way around. On this sheet with 4 sketches, the first one is the sketch as I will create it. The next sketch is what it could look like rotated. So if we rotate the original sketch the first 90 degrees, it would look like this. The second sketch is exactly that. The first one rotated at 90 degrees. So instead of just turning your paper and trying to imagine how it would look, I've done the work for you. The title can go next to the photo and the strips can go under. Flip the sketch again another 90 degrees, and now the orientation is the third sketch. This is where I would put everything. And if you flip this one more time, here's the final option. Now the pattern paper block is on the bottom. So each sketch will have all 4 of these options, the original plus 3 more. I hope this is something that's useful. Let me know if this is a tool you'd like to see, and I may be able to create more of them. In the download, you will receive the cutting guide, each of the 4 sketches with measurements aligned to the cutting guide, and a bonus sheet for each sketch, which is the original plus 3 more options showing the sketch at each 90-degree rotation. All of these things will be in one download, one zip file, and it's free. If you remember from my last video, I put together the background for each page. This closely follows the sketch. I have a 3 by 10 inch block running vertically here from paper number 1, and I have a 4.5 by 6.5 inch photo mat from pattern paper number 6. Here's the photo I'm using on this layout. I'm going to glue these down. One of the reasons I wanted to create this series is because I wanted to show how easy it can be to scrapbook different formats with the same supplies and bounce from one format to the next. I also wanted to show that batch scrapbooking can have variety. Just because you're batching and creating them together doesn't mean they have to be similar. That's kind of where my brain goes sometimes. Batching would be faster and easier if all of the layouts had a similar design. But I wanted the same set of papers to create completely different layouts. And for me, a mini album just wasn't an option for this trip. I do enjoy making mini albums, but I don't always complete them, and that's my problem. I currently have 2 mini albums in process, one for our wedding and one for our first year married from the wedding to our first anniversary. And I just couldn't add another mini album to that list. So these are just 12 by 12 layouts that will go in my albums. My 12 by 12 albums are ongoing and don't have a start and an end the way that mini albums do. That's probably why I always feel pressure when it comes to mini albums and exactly why I lose interest so quickly. Am I the only one that feels like this? I have a lot of photos from our honeymoon, and at least by batching these layouts quickly, I feel like I'm making a dent in this honeymoon trip. I'm going to work on the title next. I put my title on wax paper ahead of time as usual. My title ended up bigger than the photo and bigger than what it shows on the sketch. I really underestimated how much room I would need when I picked this thicker alphabet. But I'll be able to make it work. I'll just overlap the letters on the pattern paper a little bit. I also have another alphabet from October afternoon that I will use that matches back to the photo mat. This alphabet will help me bring more of that blue into the page. So let me get my title and journaling down. My title and journaling are glued down so we can move on to the embellishing this layout. I did create a printable to use on these 4 layouts. The theme is Honeymoon, of course. For this layout, I'm going to pull this word tag here that says married. You can see the word tag on the sketch. It's going to go on the left side of the photo. I also have a cut file to add to this layout. The theme I went with for all 4 of these layouts is diamonds. I like graphic shapes, and I thought that diamonds were a good tie-in for getting married. For this layout, I have these open diamond shapes. Each of the 4 layouts will have a different kind of a diamond cut file, and each file will be available in my shop on the day I release the process video on YouTube. So this one is available right now. At the end of the series, there will be a bundle available for the cut files. This cut file comes just with one file. You can resize it however you need to in your electronic die cut machine software. I have several different sizes of this diamond here in front of me. I will end up cutting these die cuts because I should have planned out where they would go first before I glued down the papers, but I didn't think about it. I do want to put these on the page in a visual triangle. So one will go above the photo, one will go on the left side, and the third triangle will go down by the journaling like this. I have my 3 diamonds on the page. This white on white style is one of my favorite things to do. I like how white die cuts look against white cardstock, and I use white cardstock backgrounds all the time. It's subtle, but it adds some interest in the background. If you like more color, cut them out of pattern paper, color cardstock, or ink them in a color that coordinates. I'm adding this yellow flower to the right of my title, like this sketch shows. I could maybe move it over to this side of my title because there's a bit of open space there, but no, I like it better on the other side. There isn't that much yellow on this layout. I think I have the same flower in white. Let me pull it and see which one I like better. I've had these in my stash for a while. I think they were made by Queen & Company. Nope, I like the yellow better. This brings some of the yellow from the daisy flower centers over to this side of the layout. I will glue down my word tag, but first I'm going to grab a 49 and Market laser die cut set with leaves. I may use both of these sets in different layouts, but for this one, I just wanted to use the leaves. These 2 leaves will be perfect for this word tag over here. I pulled out another sprig of leaves, and I think I'm going to cut into this for the yellow flower. You get tons of leaves, but don't think you have to keep it together and use it as is. Cut the leaves off as you need to. I think this set will last a long time that way. These 3 leaves I'm cutting off will go behind the yellow flower. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for embellishing on this page. I stuck close to the sketch as I said I would. The only thing that deviates a bit is that my title was longer than expected, so that looks a little bit different. And I also added my diamond die cuts. The rest looks pretty much like the sketch. And that's my goal for all of the layouts, to follow the sketch so that the sketch download will match the layouts in my process videos. The only thing I have left to do is adhere my flower, the die cuts, and my word tag. I'm going to grab a thick dimensional Zot for my little fabric flower here. It's very sticky, so this is going to work great. I'm gluing down the leaves and my word tag with wet glue. So there you go, from sketch to finished layout. Thank you so much for watching today. This is a simplified layout with minimal embellishment. If you made it this far, please hit the like button. That will help me grow this channel. The download bundle and diamond die cut file are available in my shop now. I added a link in the description box below. See you next time.